Hello all, and welcome back to Tangents on Cracked Spines. This is going to be another special, because honestly I thought Lunar New Year was in February. Oh, and then I saw all the notices for it and went, oh, oops. So that's what I plan on reading today, is the story of the Chinese zodiac, specifically focusing on the ox and the rabbit, because 2023 is the year of the rabbit. There are many variations of this story. The one I'm most familiar with is the one that says the Jade Emperor called for a race of animals on his birthday to create the Chinese zodiac. And only the first 12 animals of the race were selected for the Chinese zodiac, and that created a time measurement for the people. And in order to win, the animals had to cross a rapid current river and reach the finish line of the shore. And the first two to win were the rat and the ox. And then the tiger, the rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, monkey, rooster, sheep, dog, and pig. There's more to the general story than that, but like I said, I wanted to focus on the on specifically how rabbit and ox got their places. If I can collect the right story. And it's much like a tortoise and the hare story. So once upon a time, the rabbit and the ox were neighbors, and they got along with each other very well. The ox was diligent and hardworking, while the rabbit was smart and capable, so they all lived a comfortable life. One day, the rabbit, good at running, showed off to the ox. "I'm the long-distance running champion in the animal world, and no one can defeat me." The ox sought for advice about long-distance running modestly, but the rabbit shook its head proudly and said, "No, the long-distance running champion depends on the congenital quality, and you cannot learn it. Besides, the long-distance running requires a slim body, but you are stout. I'm afraid you cannot run fast." The ox was upset, but it was unwilling to submit. From then on, the ox began to practice long-distance running, and it finally gained the iron feet due to its perseverance. Once tailed up, it ran like the wind and never felt exhausted for a few days. In accordance with the rules of the race, the animals coming first would be listed for the Chinese zodiac signs on that day. The ox and the rabbit promised to each other that they would get up and go to the heavenly palace together after hearing the first cock crow. The next day, the ox got up after hearing the first cock crow, but the rabbit had already left. The rabbit ran for a long time, and it found there was no animal, so it fell asleep for a while. The ox fell behind, but it never rested and arrived first at the heavenly palace, due to its perseverance and iron feet when the rabbit was sleeping. The reason the ox isn't first in the zodiac is because he agreed to carry the rat along, and the rat jumped off and scurried across once they got across the river. And if you've ever heard about the zodiac cat, the cat and rat used to be great friends, but depending on the variation, the rat never told the cat about the race, or they got on the ox together, and in its excitement, the rat pushed the cat off into the river. And they didn't finish the race. So it depends on your story. Depends on what happened to the cat. So, rat, ox. A burst of rapid footsteps awoke the rabbit. It opened its eyes and found the tiger running over quickly. The rabbit was anxious and it ran after the tiger. However, it still fell behind. The story does show that. Since the tricky rat hid under the ox horn, the rabbit only got the 4th position after the rat, the ox, and the tiger. So, like I said, there's a little bit of a tortoise and the hare story there. And this year, because the Chinese zodiac not only goes through the 12 animals, but through their 5 elements: water, wood, fire, earth, and metal. And this year is water and rabbit. What exactly does that mean? I'm sorry. I was not prepared for this. No, don't refresh. My page refreshed. Well, there's fortunes for it. And if you're a rabbit, this year, you probably had financial hardships during youth, but you are able to turn unfortunate events around. During the elderly years, money must be spent to preserve longevity. So, anybody born in 63 or 23 is the sign of the water rabbit. Those are their fortunes. And for reference, I use the Chinese zodiac.net, Chinese New Year dot what? Dot what? Chinese New Year.net, as well as the Chinese Zodiac PDF from BillingsLibrary.org, as well as just some basic knowledge from growing up in Philadelphia, where, Chinese New Year was kind of a big thing. Or at least it was celebrated in the schools, so they taught it to us. I'm sorry that was so disjointed. Hopefully next year I do better. And hopefully I do better for Imbolc, which is coming up February 1st. But hopefully that gives you a little knowledge about what the Chinese New Year is. It's how we got, the Lunar New Year, and the Chinese zodiac, and what it means. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for listening. I'm sorry. One of these days I will script at least my mini-sodes.